Welcome to the Writer's Way podcast, where we celebrate writers who have completed their books and inspire writers who haven't. Join Lori and her guests as they talk about writing, books, and life in between chapters.
Hi, everybody. It's Lori with the Writer's Way podcast here with my youngest guest yet, Emily Bastien. Welcome, Emily.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for coming on. I love your t-shirt. Tell everybody what it says in case they can't see it.
It says The Fearless Fantabulous 5. That's the name of my second book.
Your second book. That is so cool. Okay, Emily, tell people about yourself a little bit. They're going to be saying, what? How old is this girl? And she's written 2 books?
My name is Emily Bastien. I am 9 years old. I go to Whitensville Christian School. The things I like doing are swimming, I like roller skating, and I like hanging out with my friends.
Nice. Okay, and this is your second book, and I love the word fantabulous. I used to use that word a lot. Do you use that word?
Yes, I do.
Yeah? And did it just come to you?
Well, we searched it up, and we found that fantabulous means wonderful.
Okay, so you like that word. Fancy way to say wonderful. And what is your book about?
My book is about overcoming fears and helping others in need.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, and it's just not even been out for a month, hey?
Yeah, I think we sent it out a few weeks ago.
Okay, and this is your second book, so tell us about your first book.
Well, my first book is called Aqua Tales. I published it when I was 7, and it's about kids solving problems.
Okay, so you're one of those people, I'm guessing, who has enjoyed writing right from when you were very young. Because some people don't. Some people aren't writers from way back. So how long have you been writing for?
I've been writing for since I was 6, I think.
Yeah?
So about 3 years.
3 years. And always stories? You like to write stories?
Yes, I do.
And what do you like to read?
I like to read the book Wonder.
Yes.
I like to read The Boxcar Children, and I like to read books from Andrew Clement, like Lost and Found and Lunch Money.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that one. Is that adventure stories, or what is that?
The Andrew Clement book?
Yeah.
It's usually about one kid who, it's usually at school, and he or she is having some problem at school.
Yep.
But Lunch Money, it's about this kid named Greg, and he wants to sell books called I forgot what the comics are called, but he's selling comics, and the school doesn't like that. So he's trying to find a way where he can sell comics, and the school will like it.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So all about solving your problems, which is part of this book, right? So this is a book, The Fearless Fantabulous 5. That's a mouthful. It's 5 short stories, yes?
Yes, 5 short stories.
Okay. And is there some problem-solving aspects to those stories?
Well, it's mostly about overcoming fear. The Aqua Tales one is about kids solving problems.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And this one's about overcoming your fear.
Yes, and also helping those in need.
Okay, that's wonderful, Emily. You're very impressive. Is this what you think you'd like to do forever? Writing?
Well, I also I want to publish movies, too.
Ooh, maybe turn your books into movies.
I don't think for the Aqua Tales one, but I might for Fearless Fantabulous 5.
Okay, yeah, that would be cool. So you've been writing stories for 3 years, and then what gave you that push to actually turn it into a real book that you were selling, like to publish it? Was that your idea always, or did that come from your mom or dad or someone else?
It came from me, because I think that it's kind of nice to put things about you overcoming fears and put it into a book. So if those children are dealing with those kind of fears that you're facing,
Mm-hmm.
they can look what you did and maybe they could do what you did to help them face their fears.
That's so amazing. So I talk to people all the time that say, well, I have an idea for a book or I want to write a book, but they're really scared about actually publishing it. So you are a wonderful role model. Your book is about being fearless, and then you yourself are pretty fearless, I think. What do your friends think?
Well, my friends, well, they think it's pretty cool that I wrote a book,
Yeah.
but they don't say much about it.
No, they don't?
No.
No.
Because I told them in second grade, and it's been like two years now. So it's probably an old thing for them now.
Right. So what about the new book, though? Did you bring that in and show them?
Yeah, and not a lot of people have been talking about it at school, but I heard a lot of people say congratulations, Emily, and I say thank you.
Oh, that's nice. So maybe they don't know what it means quite yet. That you're a published author 2 times over. What does your teacher say?
My teacher says that's really amazing how you can write a book.
Yeah. Do you get good?
And I showed her my first book, and like just went somewhere when school started, and now I'm going to my second book. And that's kind of a big thing.
Yeah. Do you get good grades in writing and reading?
Yes, I do.
That's not really a surprise, is it? Okay, so publishing is a big deal. So how involved are you in the process of putting your book up on Amazon and doing covers?
My mom does it. My mom does.
Your mom does it? So do you have input into the cover?
Yes.
Yes.
I do.
Do you tell her what you want? Like for this one, did you say, I want a girl?
Well, it's for the Aqua Tales book, we shaped it like this.
Yeah.
It's kind of like it's shaped like different little triangles, and each triangle has like kind of a main character. This is Jan the Fawn.
Yeah.
This is Molly. This is Captain Smith. This is Esther, and this is Jason.
Yeah.
And for the other book, this is what we took a picture of. It's me leaping, and it says the Fearless Prince I was 5, and I kind of look like I'm fearless.
Yeah.
When I'm 3, and we did that, and these pictures are like pictures of kind of like people being fearless, and this is one about when I found a baby robin outside my door.
And did that really happen?
Yes, it did.
And then you wrote a story about it? Can you open it and show people the inside, since I just have the cover on here? So we can see kind of what it looks like?
This is my first story. It's called London Escape.
Oh. Hold it up just a little bit higher because, yeah. So who did the pictures, Emily?
A different illustrator did it, and his name is Raymond. I don't think I can pronounce his last name, but he lived in India, and he just drew the stories and drew the story pictures, and he sent it to us.
Yeah.
And we told him what he needed to kind of edit in that, and then he drew the pictures again.
Yeah.
And one other cool thing he did is that in this page it tells you to find 5 hidden objects.
Oh.
And then the 5 hidden one is right here.
Yeah.
Near the phone booth.
Yeah.
And the rest are on buildings. It's kind of hard to see the umbrella, though.
That is really fun. Kids love finding hidden pictures, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Do you have something like that on each of the pages for each story?
Only for this story.
Okay.
But on Chris and the Two Trails, you can look. You have to. It tells you to look around to find different animals.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting. Was that your idea, or was that your mom's or the illustrator's?
It was my idea.
Oh, cool. Well, good for you. You're full of great ideas.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you working on a new book right now, or is it still?
Yes, I am. It's called Dream Buddies.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a series. It's about a little girl named Jane, and she's going to have, and when she's born, it's about the lifetime of Jane, and when she's like 3 or 4, she's going to meet a dream cloud named David, and David's going to show her how to believe in your dreams 100% so they can come true for her.
I love it. I love the messages of your books. I think that the world really needs these, important, powerful messages. So good for you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. Okay, so let's, so I told you already, I talked to a lot of adults who are nervous or scared. They're not quite fearless like you. What advice would you give another kid, maybe somebody your age, or an adult when it comes to actually publishing their stories?
Well, sometimes publishing can get kind of hard, and it can take a very long time. But you should never give up on it, because if you wrote a story, it's about like being fearless like mine, it can really help someone through a hard time.
Love it.
And if you stop with publishing, that person will go through will have to find a different solution, and it's really helpful to just write a story about people, about having to do with people's hard lives.
Okay, love it. And what have you learned over the process of publishing 2 books?
Well, I learned over the process that that when you publish a book, there's a lot of people talking to you, so you have to so you kind of have to think quickly and then speak.
It's hard, isn't it? It takes practice, that's for sure. It's hard for me too. Okay, and something I ask everybody that I interview is, what are you spending the money that you make? And I loved your answer.
I spend it in the bank.
Yeah, you put it right in the bank. And for what? So I'm guessing it was your mom's answer on my question. What would you like to spend your money on if it was up to you? If
If I was a mature answer,
Yeah.
I think I would do it for maybe a school. But if it was not a mature answer, I would spend it on a horse or a jetpack.
Well, that's pretty cool. I like both those answers. So you'd either, if you were making the mature decision, you'd put it away for school, which is what your mom wants you to do, I'm sure. Or you'd buy a horse. You like to horseback ride? Have you done that before?
No, I haven't, but I always wanted to.
But you would like to. Do you live in an area with horses?
Yes, I do. There's a farm near where we live.
Yeah, that does horseback riding and stuff?
I'm not sure if they do horseback riding, but we see it. We see it like every day we go to school.
Oh, okay. Or a jetpack.
Yes, or a jetpack.
Because that would be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
anything that has to do with flying, I would do it.
You like flying. You like going fast. So you'd like to go on a horse and go fast, or fly fast?
I would either fly or ride a horse.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'm glad that you answered it how you would really like to spend your money. I interviewed somebody a few weeks ago, and they have a cottage, a cabin, and so she said she wanted to spend her money on a toilet for the cottage. So I like those really real answers that maybe aren't always the most mature, but I like that you also are saving for college, because you're 9.
Yes, I am.
So if you keep writing books, your whole college could be paid for if you save the money from your books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably.
Not as fun, though.
Yeah,
Not as fun as a
not really
jetpack.
as fun.
No. Is there a jetpack in any of your stories?
No, there isn't.
Oh, maybe coming up. Maybe. Okay, so tell us about the shirts. Because other authors that are watching always are interested in merchandise.
Well, my mom, she took these shirts, and I didn't know this, but you can take paper and then you can cut it out, whatever you want the design to be,
Yeah.
and then you can just take the shirt and iron it. But what my mom also learned is that if you want it to be spelled correctly, you should check before you iron it on the shirt. She learned the hard way.
She learned the hard way? Which word was spelled wrong? Fantabulous?
Yeah, she
Yeah,
spelled it with two N's.
that's a tricky word. Oh, you're funny. I like it. Well, the whole process is about learning, and what better way to learn than to make mistakes, right? Can you tell people watching, do you have a website, or how could they find you, find your books, learn more about you or your books?
They can find my book on Amazon or Kindle.
Okay, and do you have a website?
Yes, I do.
And what is it?
Emily V. Bastien.
Emily V. Bastien. Okay, so when I write the show notes, I'm going to include that. Thank you, Emily, so much for talking to me today.
You're welcome.
And thank you to your mom for arranging it and to helping you through this process so much. I think you're a really incredible family.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you again. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you. I wasn't sure if you were finished, so good job.
Well, thank you.
You've been listening to the Writer's Way podcast. For show notes, links to guests' information, and to learn more about the Writer's Way, check out LoriWrighter.com. Until next week, enjoy this chapter of your life.